Toffee TV on Patreon. It is the Tuesday topic. Bit of an emotive one this season, and really, it's the question has only really got one answer. But we thought we'd sit down and sort of go through it more than anything else, and our opinions, maybe educate a little bit. But obviously, the club banned the Sun newspaper.
Not before time. Not
before time. Now, again, a lot of people will be like, well, of course. But the reason I wanted to sort of bring this up was, this will sound stupid, but the Sun have, they have Twitter accounts for individual teams. And I was just looking through the Everton one, and I couldn't believe that people who follow me, some people I used to follow, followed them. And these are not foreign fans. I was just baffled. I was fucking absolutely baffled by how any of it. Liverpool fans as well, they follow their one.
7,500.
I was just like, what the I don't know, a lot of them are foreign, but I'm thinking, come on, for fuck's sake. And I've had to have this conversation with people before, Americans and stuff, because in America, the Sun for a long time was like seen as the Bible of like football gossip and football. And like it is, or it was certainly the biggest newspaper in the country. I think it's the fucking Mail now, which is even worse. But I think it's important to educate people that if people are out there who are watching this, who follow them or follow any or buy the Sun, why this is so emotive to us. And it's not about what's happened this week. It's what's been happening for 28 years. And it's not just about Everton. It's not just about, well, it's not about Everton really. It's not about football. It's about the city in general and why we just fucking hate them, basically. It's just a good way of getting it out, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, I don't really know how to answer you because I don't think you'd ask me a question. You just.
But no, I'm not asking a question. I'm just putting it over.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know why it's taken the club so long to ban them. I didn't realise Liverpool had only done it in February, I think it was, or something. A blanket ban. I know they've banned other stuff, but yeah, it's been a weird attack on the city of Liverpool for that long, sustained period of time, and that's why has it united the city. Potentially, it's united a lot of people. I think we were always a close city. I mean, if you go back to the 80s, the city, we go back to before Hillsborough, we go back to the Milk Cup final and the two sets of fans singing Merseyside and winning trophies, against each other and things like that. Yeah. But you know what I mean? We were both, we had a successful period, and then obviously Hillsborough arrived, and what happened from then and then on, it feels like it's been a very public attack on Merseyside, on Liverpool as a city.
I mean, anyone who doesn't know, because there might be people. I mean, obviously, Hillsborough happened 20 years ago. I was at the other semi-final. You were at the other semi-final, Villa Park. Obviously, 96 people ended up dying. Countless other physical injuries and injuries you can't see that led to people taking their own lives and things like that. So it's a massive thing for the city. Everyone knows somebody who was either there, who died that day. And a story was concocted very, very quickly to blame the fans. It was, and this is part of the thing, is that blame the fans. It was leaked to a national newspaper, The Sun. They put it out there, spreading some of the most vilest stories you've ever heard in your life, while their sons and daughters, brothers and sisters were lying in a makeshift morgue, and yet they are being told by a national newspaper that these people were urinated on, were pickpocketed, while the other Liverpool fans were trying to help these people because ambulances couldn't get in and the police, quite frankly, couldn't give a fuck because they're just football fans at the end of the day. That story got out, it grew. Kelvin McKenzie was part of that. That lie has been around for 6 years. If you didn't live in this city, Whereas we all knew that was a load of bullshit. But because it's a national newspaper and a government and and an inquiry as well helped. Well, the inquiry sort of dismissed a lot of that, but the stigma has been attached to the city, hasn't it? And that's a main problem. That's not the main problem. A stigma on the city isn't the main problem. But though, how hurtful those lies were have just grown roots in this city to a position now where the sun is completely not welcome in the city. There's been and I think, you know, going back to what you said before about why is it taking so long for Liverpool to ban them, I think simply because of the inquiry, because the second inquiry proved that they were culpable, whereas before a lot of people would have made a lot of noise about it, because that's the other thing we have to go through is Sympathy City and all this nonsense where, again, people like Mackenzie and Boris Johnson was another one who have said, "Oh, you know, all you do is pity City and all this," and that's why it took Liverpool so long. And I think I've seen Oliver Holt saying, "Oh, you shouldn't ban any newspaper. You should, it's censorship," but it's not, is it? It's if someone comes into your house, takes a shit on the floor, you don't keep inviting them in, do you? But you don't, do you? That's basically what these people have been doing.
No, listen, you can talk about censorship. I mean, if we just want to break it down to this week over Ross Barkley, and obviously the reason why Everton ended up banning him this week. You know, we've got someone here writing an article which was just it was a racist article, no matter which way you look at it. It was horrendous. The line, you know, and okay, he's written it, and we know he's a gobshite.
Well, he was the one who helped push the lies.
You know, well, we know, but what I'm saying is, we'll come back to that. But he's the gobshite that's written this article. Yeah. And then it's got past people, and it's been published, and then they've suspended him as if to say, "Oh, and how he slid that one in there?" Right? Well, does no one check anything that you write?
They do.
No, well, of course they do. And someone's gone, "That's all right, that leave it in," and then he spins lies of, it's not racist at all. I didn't know Ross Barkley was mixed race. But he wrote a story in 2014 saying Ross's granddad's Nigerian.
But even if...
but I'm saying, even after he's done it, he still can't help himself with the lies.
Even if he didn't know, it's someone's job at that newspaper to... And I'm just saying I'm saying there's more. That's why there's
more than one.
That's why there's a bigger culpability, because
the lies. What got me was the lie that came after it. Though he's still lying. You've been found out. It's been called out, mate. Stop lying. And he still can't help himself. I didn't know. And then someone's bounced. I think Joe Anderson might have even found it and went, "Hang on, there's the one you done in 2014 when you talked about, or 2012 it might have been, when you talked about him, you know, blah de blah being mixed race." Then you know what? You just like stop fucking lying.
But the thing about it is, though, the racist angle of the article, this might go against what other people feel, but I don't think that's important, because I'd say no. This is why I don't think it's important, right? Because the angle of it being racist, I wonder who decided that the angle of it being bad was racist. And I'll tell you why I say that, Baz. I say that because that can be dismissed, right? So I almost feel like they came up with the idea that the reason it was a bad article was because it was a racist article. But then you can then dismiss that idea that was racist by him saying he didn't know. I know what you're saying. The thing that really got me about the article, and again, that's why I think, or to me it seems like they have put it out there that it's been, the anger is because it's racist. It's because the real crux of it was how damning it was to the city and working class people in general, saying that he's thick and the only reason he's got money is he's a footballer, and the only other people who've got money in the city are criminals who are all in prison, and actually the only other people who were drinking around them have only just broken through the £7.50 an hour pay. That's what really gets me, because you cannot dismiss that. You cannot hide the fact that that's what he said. The racist thing is he could turn around and go, I had no idea, which I know he did, but that's just stupidity.
Yeah.
But you can dismiss that. For me, the real argument in this is the fact that it's an attack not only on a young lad, not only on a city, but on the working class people, again, by these people from this newspaper who, again, it's a class war. It doesn't matter what side you come on. In the last 2 years in this country, we've been bombarded by press on all sides. I will fully take that, on all sides, who are trying to fight their classes corner. And it just happens that the Sun and the Mail, unfortunately, are the biggest sellers, and I've got more reach. Now, I'd like to think that we and our viewers know their own minds and you know, use us as an opinion and as a window, not to form their opinion, but maybe just to give them a. You know, we have loads of people in the comments who go, "Fucking hell, turn it in, Ped," mostly. You know, but even the thing we did last week with the starting 11, we had a little debate about like religion, and even though my side of it was a little bit not tongue in cheek, because I would never dismiss anyone's but it was more just like I was just pressing buttons and seeing what your answer was, and we had some absolutely brilliant comments telling us the reasons, and that's brilliant. Those people are not stupid enough to fall in the trap and go, put Ped on a cross himself, or Baz, you're talking utter nonsense. Where people going, this is a good debate, we understand, but unfortunately we have too many people in this country who go, fucking hell, that he should be, you know, he should be hung, you know, do you know what I mean? It's too many people who get their opinions from this newspaper, and that's the real crux. Is that, again, this city, the people who live in it, the people who are successful from it, are always under attack. And I listen, my job, it's weird because your job, you do see the worst of the city, but you try and help and fix that. What I do for a living, I get to pick people up who tell me how amazing this city. I've come here, not people who come here like, okay, people who come here hen do, stag do's and all the rest of it. Yeah. It's their choice. I get people who come here on conferences. I get to pick them up and they go, never knew this city was so amazing. I'm going to come back with me mates. Or fella, like people, well, I come here for the National, but I stay here like the whole weekend because the city's amazing. That's what, and they go, oh, we thought it was something and it's not. That's what I hate about these articles, that not only does it the hateful things they say, but ultimately it makes our city look bad.
Damages the city. Yeah.
We're in a culture now where you're fighting for, everyone's fighting for everyone else's pounds. So when people are telling lies and saying, well, the city's full of gangsters and this and that, it has got its fair element, but so is every city. And I won't say that because that would sound bad, but well, I will say that.
Don't say it.
I will say one of the reasons we actually have loads of gangsters is because of we have such a good nightlife, and we all know what follows that. But we live in a brilliant city where we all look after each other, and these same dickheads are still trying to knock us off our. It's almost like, yeah, they did really well, but it won't change anything for us. We'll show them, and that's why I think it ultimately was so important that Everton banned the Sun. They didn't stop and go, oh, they've suspended Kelvin McKenzie, everything's fine now. They went, no, what? No, it's not an attack on. It's not just an attack on Ross Barkley. It's an attack on the city, and let's be honest, you have got no right to attack us as a city after what the shit you said about us.
You have the soapbox, isn't it? There's not really much more I can say to that, other than the whole article for me, the racist thing. It is important.
It is important. Of course, it is.
I can't believe that's people are still coming out with this kind of stuff in a national. It just blows me mind But then to call him, he's one of our thickest footballers. It's a personal attack. Then you've had a racist attack on his heritage.
Yeah.
You've then gone and called him thick behind the eyes. He's got nothing behind the eyes, you know. And then you slag the city, and then you bring in drug dealers into it, or gangsters, whatever. And then after all that, you're then having a pop of people who are just working hard to make the money. So there was 5 different elements to it, which it was just a collection of cheap shots and abuse by someone that has continued to do it because he started this journey 28 years ago around, you know, at Hillsborough, and because this city
doesn't buckle,
won't back down if it's in the right, and it shouldn't have backed down. And then families, the families of the 96 who died, and all the other families of the people who were injured and traumatised from it, and then everybody else who stood shoulder to shoulder with them, because we are a city and because they were our mates who were going to match, and we all know someone who was there, whether they died or were injured or not, but have been affected by it one way or the other. We're affected by it because it could have been us, and that was the whole thing. They just didn't get it because they kept kicking and kicking, so people were kicking back and kicking back and kicking back. But to still continue that, you'd think as a normal human being, you'd go, right, I tried to start this war and I've kind of lost it. I'm going to back away and just leave it be. But he hasn't, because he's a shite-talk. Do you know what I mean?
But I don't put it down to him solely, because they got...
Well, how come he's the flag bearer at all times?
And I'll tell you why, Baz. I will tell you why he's the flag bearer. Because he left the Sun, and he went away and he tried to do a few things and failed at some things and did well at other things. They brought him back as like a guest columnist. They dipped their toe in the water and they found that it was to their liking, the temperature. And I've said it before, it is a class thing. And whether people like it or not who watch this, they might have the same opinions. We don't have the same opinions on some things, but we don't necessarily bring it into the show. But coming from Liverpool, you are brought up in a certain way because you have to fight your corner. And that's what I'm saying about Kel McKenzie and the Sun. The Sun know they're not welcome in this city, right? Kel McKenzie's not welcome in this city. But they're not exactly like everyone else's favourite newspaper either, but everyone else doesn't have the hate and disdain that we have for them. So everywhere else, they've still got like they've got more than a little bit. And at the moment, the way tensions are in this country, where it's almost like us against them, they just turn around to their people, and their people who buy it, who are like big fans of the Sun, go, yeah, we fucking hate Scousers ourselves. Because for one of the reasons, I don't know how anyone could buy the Sun who's a football fan, who can work for the Sun as a football person, after knowing what they've done to one set of fans. Can you not put yourself in the place of other people who say, that could have been us, right? Maybe it wouldn't have been them, because maybe other places wouldn't have the bollocks that this city has. So they're just when they're attacking us, they don't care. No, it's not going to hurt their sales in Liverpool, is it? Because they don't have that many sales in Liverpool. Although, you know, some dicks still sell it, which I don't know why. But it doesn't hurt their sales, and that's why they continue to do it, because it's a one-sided fight in a way, isn't it? Because we don't buy it, so we don't have to worry about it as a such. They can attack us, or they can say stuff, and it's not just the Sun. You only have to look at the Mail every time there's Ladies' Day, and they get the pictures of all the girls enjoying themselves. I seen the thing the other day of, I think it was Thursday before Easter. You know, everyone's going out because it's Good Friday. So what did they focus on? They focus on Liverpool, because they've got this problem with working class people enjoying themselves. Like, where it's like, and it's not just them. It's stupid programs like Benefit Street. Like, don't give poor people money, because they'll just spend it on ale, ciggies and fat screen tellies. That's the notion, isn't it? And it is this attack, and that's why I think he is the flag bearer, because he's the one who started it, Baz. You might as well have the best person to fly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I know what you're saying. The bus is still driving, but he's always the driver of the bus.
Because he's the best person to drive it.
And that's
because he is the best person to drive the bus. The next person is fucking Horseface Hopkins. Do you know what I mean? It's why all these people seem to be getting boss traction in the States at the moment. All these mad people that you've never heard. Like, there's English people in the States at the moment, right? Alt-right people, right? Who are doing very, very well for themselves. You wouldn't have a clue who they were here. They don't go on our telly. Because we would just fucking laugh at them. But over there, they're in pockets of society, because it's so big, they're doing well for themselves. You might as well have the best person driving the bus, you know what I mean? And as I say, for me, that's why Everton were perfectly entitled to ban them, because it's not just saying, well, we've done our job, we've suspended them. Who's the editor? Who allowed it to get through?
Who's the sub-editor?
Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, you can't open that newspaper and see, as thick as Leicester fans seem to be, they have been nicely stoked by all these things. With this Gibraltar, I know we're getting into, but it's all part of the thing. Seen the Gibraltar thing last week, and it's a little bit of a conflict that's been going on. It's been going on fucking before Brexit. It's been going on for 30, 40 years. And then the next minute, there's a little bit of, well, what happens to it next because of Brexit? And then it's the Sun are putting stuff, the Mail are putting stuff, and the next minute you've got Leicester fans in the middle of Madrid fucking singing all kinds of songs about people, bombs and all kinds. This is the day after, obviously, a German Dortmund coach has been bombs on it. It just stokes the fires, and that's what I'm saying. We don't fall into that stuff. We're not thick, but there's enough people out there who read it and go, oh my god. And that's why, ultimately, getting back to it, it was really important that Everton banned the Sun, because it is bigger. It's not censorship. The Sun can still do match reports. They can go to the away games and watch us, as long as it's not at Anfield. They can still write their match reports. We're not censoring them. We're just saying to them, you're not welcome to come to Goodison Park or Finch Farm, USM, and after personal attacks, and it's as simple as that. So fuck off. That's all I'm going to say.
We need some censorship.
It's on the Patreon, Baz. It's on Patreon.
I know.
It's on Patreon.
But the patrons,
it's fine. It's on Patreon. No, I think this is enough emotive subject where we can. I mean, listen, people might disagree.
Yeah.
As I said, I've seen Oliver Holt. He actually tweeted us back saying he worked in the city at the time. But that doesn't mean anything. You just because you worked in the city at the time doesn't mean you've had to deal with the things people have had to deal with in the city for the last 28 years, and see the lies and see how it affects people, and also where it comes from. Don't forget, Hillsborough was smack bang in the middle. People who think it started at Hillsborough, it didn't start at Hillsborough. See who banned us out of Europe, right? Not why we were banned, who banned us, right? Who decimated the city financially. It all started with the same people. The Sun helped it, and it continued. And then you've got people like Boris Johnson when he was, and then you've got, what is it, the Spectator magazine, I think it's the Spectator, saying, oh, columnists are there for laughs and all that. Well, Boris Johnson, I think, used to be the editor of the Spectator when he said all those horrible things about the city, and now we wind on, and it was about time we left Hillsborough and all that, and where look where we are today, where people have fought to clear the names of not only people who died, but people who looked after them, so that story could get out. And if it wasn't for those people fighting the agenda and all, and the people in charge, you wouldn't get anywhere, will you? So there you have it. Some people might agree, some people might disagree. That's fair enough. But ultimately, the end of it is, if you follow the Sun Everton account, you will be fucked off by us on Toffee TV. And I hope we've educated a few people as well who might be like, what's this all about? Because ultimately that's really what I'm open to do with this video more than anything. Not have a rant and a rave, but educate people, because I have done that, but I think it's more about educating people. People might be like, we didn't know any of this. Especially our foreign the people who watch abroad, they wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
They just hear a name or a thing and they don't understand it. So I think it's important anyway. So let us know anyway in the comments your thoughts as well.
We agree, just to reiterate, we agree.
Of course we agree.
And we're glad the club has banned them.
Yeah. Baz wasn't just sitting there quietly because he was fuming or anything. He just
I just didn't know what to say. I was letting him have his moment in the sun. Or not in the sun.
Or not in the sun. Yeah. So let us know your opinions. That was the Tuesday topic, and we'll see you later.